Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome to... Oh shit, I forgot the fedora. Hang on. Should probably start again, but fuck it. Right, hello, welcome to the channel and welcome to my Premier League predictions for the next season. I was going to do this in a bit, because I was like, oh, it's ages till the season starts. No, it isn't. It starts in about 5 days, so I've had to rush this a little bit, but tough shit, I guess. Right, so I've had two of my mates do their own predictions, and I'm going to absolutely fly through them here. We've got Rory, who is putting... Here we go, I've got it on a piece of paper. Liverpool first, with Chelsea second, City third, Spurs fourth, Wolves fifth, United sixth, Sheffield United seventh, Arsenal eighth, Leicester ninth, Burnley 10th, Everton 11, Leeds 12, Newcastle 13, Brighton 14, 15 West Brom, 16 Southampton, 17 Palace, 18 West Ham, 19 Villa and 20th Fulham. Right, there's Rory's, so you could slander him when they're all wrong. And here's Scott's. He has City winning the league with Liverpool second, Chelsea third, United fourth, Arsenal fifth, sixth Wolves, seventh Spurs, eighth Leicester, ninth Sheffield United, 10th Everton, 11 Newcastle, 12 Burnley, 13 Southampton, 14 West Ham, 15 Leeds, 16 Palace, 17th West Brom, 18th Villa and 19th Brighton, and once again Fulham in 20th. Right, so there's them two twats predictions. Now let's get on to the ones that actually matter, eh? Not mine, someone else is doing them over there. But you've got mine as well, so here we go. Right, firstly, I'm going to go from last up to first, because I reckon that's probably the most boring way to do it, so let's go. First off, well, not first off, last off, 20th place. I also have Fulham. I reckon they're going to be a bit of a yo-yo club, as you say. Came up 2 seasons ago, got relegated, and back up they are again. They spent loads of money last time. They got fucking promoted and got just relegated again. So I reckon it's going to happen again, and they're going to come in last. 19th place, I have Aston Villa. They're like slowly running out, so... Sorry about my nose. They're just going down, aren't they? They're not very good. They've got Jack Grealish, but other than that, no one can score, so... What can you do? That was cringe. Let's never do that again. 18th place, I have West Ham United. Obviously, you know them as the team with the shittest stadium. I only avoided relegation last year because Antonio decided to be really good for a couple of games. And David Moyes, they're practically bankrupt. They're in loads of debt. David Moyes won't sell any players for way too much money. Prefers to let Declan Rice leave on a free instead of for 70 mil, so that makes sense. So yeah, they're not. David Moyes might even get sacked like halfway through, and I still don't think they'll stay up. 17th, I have West Bromwich Albion. That is how you say it, I think. Obviously, I've got Slaven Bilic. They might have bought someone. I haven't actually seen if they've bought someone yet, though, so not a great transfer window so far for them if they haven't bought anyone. And their team isn't really good enough to get above a relegation scrap, so there it is. And then I figure it'll actually be a bit of a gap up into 16th place, where I have Brighton and Hove Albion. Who have they bought? They've bought like Adam Lallana. Of course, they're playing Chelsea, which I think is their first game. Not a great start for them because they've got quite another few hard teams after that. But I reckon there'll still be a gap. I reckon there'll still be... I reckon there'll still be a gap. What else am I supposed to fucking say? They'll be a bit above West Brom, and then there'll be a little tiny gap to Crystal Palace, who are only there because Wilfried Zaha hasn't left yet. And if he does leave in the remainder of the transfer window, then they're getting relegated. Because they're shit without him, aren't they? And they're not even very good with him, so yeah, that's not great. 14th place, I have Leeds. All the Leeds fans won't be too chuffed with that. We're getting in Europe and shit, but you're not, are you really? I mean, we're all thinking that we're all remembering when they were such a massive Champions League semi-final team. But they're not actually that good, are they? They spent, 17 years trying to get out of the Championship? Main striker was Patrick Bamford, and then they replaced him with Rodrigo, who last year scored, 4 goals? So what was even the point in replacing him? Calvin Phillips looks alright, But other than that, I'm not overly convinced. Ben White, their only good centre-back, went back to Brighton. So I reckon there'll be a bit of a goal machine for conceding. Even with like Kiko Casilla in there, nah. They're not going to get higher than that, I don't think. 30th, I've got Southampton, of course, with Ralph, fucking Hasselhootel, is that how you say his name? Who knows how to say his name? No one. Even Southampton fans probably don't know how to say it. They probably also are checking their nosebleed that they're so high up in the air. Especially if Danny Ings keeps firing in the same way he was last season. Nearly won the fucking Golden Boot. Danny Ings nearly won the Golden Boot. Danny fucking Ings. I don't think he'll score as many as he did last season, but I reckon he'll score quite a few. But again, if he gets injured, then they don't score, so they're not getting higher than that. 12th place, I have Newcastle. Of course, they've just done a massive fucking like trio swap deal or something for all the Bournemouth players. Callum Wilson, Ryan Fraser, and some other bellend is supposed to be coming in. So they finally got a striker who actually knows how to play football now with Callum Wilson. He's obviously not the best in the world, but he's better than that fucking Joe Linton. Jesus, he is shit. And he's got Alan St. Maximin, who can cross the ball into him 5 million times a minute. Fucking hell. My voice just went. It just couldn't be fucked. 5 million times a match. So, I reckon 12th is a decent bet. Burnley, right in the middle of the table in 11th. Brexit FC, of course, with Sean Dyche. They're average. Nothing really more that you can say about them. They're average, they're alright, they'll get 11th. 10th place, Everton, which might seem a bit weird, but it's Everton. They're not going to fucking get higher. And yes, they brought in James Rodriguez, but he was only good for one World Cup. They brought in Abdoulaye Doucouré, who just got relegated, so he can't be that good. And they just bought, Allen from Napoli, he's alright. But they always buy loads of players, and they always come 10th, so they're in 10th. 9th place, Sheffield United. Not actually second season syndrome for Sheffield United here. Just the same place that they finished last year, I'm pretty sure. They're pretty sure they finished 9th. And I reckon they will again. They're decent, but any injuries, and they've got no backups, so that might hinder them a little bit. 8th place, Leicester City, which is very low for Leicester City, actually. Considering, well, actually, is it? It's not really, is it? Yeah, they're all right. The midfield's all right, but if one of them gets injured, the rest of it doesn't work, as proved by last season. Ricardo Pereira's still injured. They, of course, just sold Ben Chilwell, who admittedly wasn't a massive mainstay in the team, but they replaced him with Atalanta's third-string left-back. Their third-string left-back. Like, third string isn't Marcus Alonso. First string isn't even Emerson. First string is like Ian Matson. And you don't know who that is, because he's a first string left back. He could be good. He could be absolute dog shite. I don't know. I don't watch Atalanta, and I certainly don't watch their reserves teams games. So I couldn't tell you how good he is. He might be a massive hole in their backline, and I might concede 5 million. But how am I supposed to know? I'm not supposed to know. Exactly. Fuck off. Jamie Vardy, of course, did just win the Golden Boot. But he's also like 34, so he's got to slow down somewhere, surely. And no one else scores for them, so if he slows down at all, then they're fucked. 7th place, for the 3rd season in a row, I have Wolverhampton Wanderers, even though they just bought some other Portuguese bloke. Never heard of him. Might be alright, you never know really, because, you guessed it, I've never fucking heard of him. He could be cracking, he could be the next coming of fucking Ronaldo, but I don't know. I reckon they'll finish 7th again, because their 6 teams better than them. And they'll probably botch playing like Brighton and lose to them 1-0. 6th place, I have Arsenal, which it pains me to put them that high, because they're shit. Obviously, they've got Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is kind of the best striker in the league. But if he gets injured, then they don't score. If Aubameyang gets injured, then Arsenal don't score any goals. So, I don't think, like, if someone could just go crunch Aubameyang, then they might come about 12th. So it's quite hard to predict Arsenal. Of course, they got in Saliba is back from his loan away to some random club, I don't know who. They got Danny Ceballos in on loan again, who was, he was alright last year. And they've got that Gabriel geezer. So Gabriel and Saliba will need some time to mix into being centre-backs, even though they just won the Community Shield, Arsenal, but that was because of Ruben Briester. That's not how you say his name. Rhian Brewster missing a penalty because he's shit. So yeah, I reckon 6th, better than last year, but they're not getting top 4, are they? Because it's fucking Arsenal. And Aubameyang might even leave. He hasn't signed a new contract, so the chances of him leaving are still quite high because, well, who'd want to play for Arsenal? Other than Gabriel, I guess. 5th place, and this is definitely going to be incorrect. If there's any of these that are incorrect, it'll be this one. Spurs. What? Why have you got Spurs so fucking high? Holy shit. Spurs are so high because they're above Arsenal last year, and I reckon they'll be above Arsenal next year. Jose Mourinho, don't give a shit what you say, cracking manager. Yes, it didn't work at United, but it wasn't even that bad there. Yes, it didn't go great the second time round at Chelsea, but he still won the league with us, I'm pretty sure. So, he's cracking. He's a good manager. Admittedly, Spurs haven't exactly been busy in the transfer market. They've bought fucking who? Pierre-Emile Højbjerg? That's not even how you say his name, I don't think. He's from Southampton, so he's probably alright, I don't know. And Joe fucking Hart. Joe Hart. So you want to concede goals, right? Bring him in then. Joe Hart. Joe fucking Hart. Head and shoulders, dickhead. Joe Hart. Why would you bring in Joe Hart? Out of all of the players, you've already got Lloris. He's probably better than Joe Hart when he's drunk. Joe Hart. So, yeah, I don't know. They might buy Christian Eriksen back off of Inter Milan, which makes me think, what was the fucking point? Dele Alli's been shit. Harry Kane has been shit recently. Heung-min Son hasn't been great recently. That's not even how you say his name. Heung-min Son. It's not right. But I still reckon they'll come 5th just because it's Jose Mourinho, and I reckon they'll scumbag it into 5th. 4th place, Manchester United. Obviously, they've got Mark Goldbridge, still convinced that they're going to buy Jadon Sancho about 2 months after the deadline for them buying him was up. And it looks like, I don't know if it's actually confirmed yet, it might have been earlier today, it looks like they're going to be buying Donny van de Beek, who is alright. He won't make a massive difference in that team, but he'll probably do something. Surely he's got to do something. He's the only player. Is he the only? Oh no, he's not. Onana's still there, but he was one of the only 2 players that impressed in that Ajax team 2 years ago that was still there. So he's got to have something about it. Although to be fair, the other 2 that left have been shit since they left. So maybe he doesn't have anything about him. Maybe he's dog shit. He is also the highest winner of penalties in the Eredivisie. What a surprise that he's going to United. Like, they don't help themselves, do they? They've got Bruno Fernandes, who dives more than Tom Daley, and now they've got Donny van de Beek. But so, I reckon they'll come 4th. And realistically, if Bruno Fernandes gets injured, they could come 7th, because that team just doesn't work without him. It doesn't matter how many penalties he wins. They just don't work when he's not there. So, he's got to be doing something other than penalties, surely. Surely he has to be something about it. 3rd place, I have the team that I support, if you can't tell from the wallpaper behind me. Not the posters, over here. Chelsea in 3rd place. A lot of people actually have us higher than 3rd place. I don't, though, because we won't get higher than 3rd place. It's not going to happen. We brought in Werner and Havertz and Chilwell and Silva. But Silva can't speak English, so he'll need ages to gel. Ziyech, I forgot to mention, but he's got no physicality. He'll be shoved over more than a fucking Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down, mate. Thiago Silva's really slow, even though I'm pretty sure I talked about him already. Nice one. Ben Chilwell's average. Timo Werner is good. He's the only one that I'm confident that will be good. And Kai Havertz slowly reminds me of Nicolas Pepe to Arsenal a little bit, which is terrifying, especially considering we paid nearly the same amount for him. So that's not horrifying. But realistically, one of them is going to be bad. One of them is going to flop. It's the law of averages that one of them is going to do shit. That's how it works. Not every single one of them is going to be lit. It's not going to happen. That's not how... It doesn't work like that. So I reckon one of them will be shit. I reckon it won't be Werner. I reckon it'll either be Ziyech or Havertz that doesn't have a very good year. And I reckon, because we've still got Kepa in goal, we'll still concede 700 goals and come 3rd. Unless we do buy another keeper. If we buy another keeper, then I reckon we might get second. But Kepa in goal, he's just fucking shit. I'd rather have a Scarecrow in there. It'd probably move more than Kepa, to be fair. Second place, I have Manchester City in second place. And I don't see why anyone has them winning the league, if I'm honest. Who have they bought? Look, Nathan Ake, who is a defender that got relegated with a team that conceded more than Chelsea, I'm pretty sure. Or at least near to as much as Chelsea conceded. And Ferran Torres, who won't play a minute in a Man City shirt. He could, they have 7 wingers, and they're buying another one. What are you doing? There's no need at all to buy him. And you did, for literally no reason. They're going to be the same team as last year. Only they might concede a couple less. But the gap will be smaller to Liverpool. But it's not going to be enough. And I've just given away who's winning the league. Liverpool. Even though they've been shit since Watford smacked them 3-0. I still reckon they're going to win the league. And it's not going to be by anywhere near as many as they won it last year. Probably won't even be by more than 10 points. They probably won't win the league by. But I reckon they'll still win it. I mean, they could prove me wrong and just go unbeaten until January again. So, yeah, I mean, you never know, really. But I can't see it. I just can't see them doing that well. I mean, Salah's been off for the last couple of seasons. Looks like they might be losing Gigi Wijnaldum to Barcelona. Jordan Henderson apparently is still the best centre mid in the world, even though he isn't. So they're not as good as people say they are, but they're still good enough to win the league. So, yeah, that's awkward, innit? Let's get on to top scorer with a really cool cut. Here it comes. Whoa, wasn't that cool? Yeah, I don't know. Fuck if I know what I'm doing, right? Right, top scorer. There's a load of candidates, obviously. There's Jamie Vardy, won it this year, but he won't win it next year. There is, of course, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is the only reason Arsenal ever score any goals. I reckon he'll be right up there. I also reckon that Timo Werner will be up there. I don't think he'll win it, but I reckon he'll be around there. And Aguero, he'll sort of be there, but he's slowing down a bit. Kane won't be there. Mane and Salah and Mane might be around there, but I still reckon Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's going to win it. I mean, he just scores all the time. And he makes such an impact in the Arsenal team. If he was in any good team, he'd be scoring 50 a year. But unfortunately, he plays for shitty Arsenal, so unlucky, mate. And we're not going to do a cut for this one, but I'm going to go on Player of the Year. I reckon Kai Havertz has a bit of a shout, as long as he doesn't flop, obviously. Who else is there? Salah and Mane, obviously, again, will both have a shout. I reckon Kevin De Bruyne is always a good shout. Who else is there? Aubameyang, if he really has that much of a monumental season, he might be up there. But I reckon, despite how many penalties he earns, and despite the fact that he dives more than a dolphin, I reckon it'll be Bruno Fernandes. Because no matter how much you hate him, and no matter how much he dives, the impact he has on that Man United team is ridiculous. That Man United team looked like a Sunday League team when he isn't playing, and then put him in there, and suddenly they're prime fucking Barcelona. I don't understand what he does to make that team so good. Yes, he wins. Yes, he's a meme because he wins penalties all the time. And yes, he's a stat padder. But I think that the people who pick Player of the Year will just look right past that and will still pick him to be the best Player of the Year. Surprisingly, Shit Player of the Year is next. So, people who you think will be good but are actually going to be shit. Harry Kane, probably going to be in there. Probably going to have another dead season. Again, Kai Havertz or Hakim Ziyech could be in there, just for lack of physicality, really. So they can't really do anything in the league. Who else is there that could even be in this? I reckon Jesus and that, but I don't know. That'll be it, really. That's me done. There's your predictions. We're out here. What's the creative ending? Throw the hat at the camera. That's creative. Who's winning the league? It's Liverpool. Balls. That wasn't a very good end, was it?